Samsaradava nalalita loka Tranaya karuna gana ganatvam Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasorasena Romancha Kampa Sutaranga Bajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Shri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Shingarathan Mandira Marjanado Yuktasya Bhaktam Saniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Chaturvida Shri Bhagavad Prasada Swadana Triptan Harivaksha Sangham Kritraiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Shri Radhika Madhava Yurabhara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Nam Pratikshnaasvadanalolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Nikunjayo no rati kili siddhai Yayali bir yukti rapikshaniya Tatrati daksharati vallavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतेव साध्वी किन्तु प्रभोया प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसाद भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसाद न गति कुतोऽपि जायं स्तुवां स्तस्य यसा श्रीसाद्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री Chaitanya Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhava, Radha Nila Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhava, Radha Nila Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Om Shinu Pada Paramhamsa Pardaka Acharya Stota Shata Shishma Des Divine Grace Abarachana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramhamsa Pardaka Acharya Stota Shata Shishma Des Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prime se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito narsimha parato narsimho. Yato yato yami tato narsimha. Bahir narsimho hrudaye narsimho. Narasimhamadim charanam prapade. Tava kara kamalavare nakam adbhuta shringam dalita hiranyakashipu tanbringam keshavadrita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jayo Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jayo Narasimha Dev, Jayo Narasimha Dev, Jayo Narasimha Dev, Jayo Narasimha Dev. Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा स्वामी की जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय
अनुगात करो सेवा अधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीन कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा होय श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न बासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः यानि कानि जपापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपादे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपादे पदे तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपादे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपदे पदे ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणपदे पदे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vrindaya Tulasi Devyaya Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatai Namo Namaha
O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire is in the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Wherever take shelter you had wish fulfilled. Bestow mercy upon him and make him a resident of Vrindavana. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shri Vrindavana town. Thus within my vision I shall always behold the beautiful path of Radha Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of Karvadanto's Virgil. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy name that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods, a Lord Shiva or Brahma, to be equal to independent and name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruity activities, karma ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Pudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durudeva Midisham Ihaja Ninanuragaha Trinata Pi Sunichena Tarora Pi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवता भक्तिर्हैतुकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवां पुतो कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितदूरी सत्वेशं विचिन्तय नयनं करताश्रुतारय वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकनिश्चितं वपुर्कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेन चक्षुषा प्रविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत् सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्रिषवा पादरतां पिन्नस्तु माम् अदर्शनां मार्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव न परः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which all always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction of human beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, I invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, we practice to enable us to easily approach your holy by your names. But I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Mahananda Krishna, I'm an eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one Adam at the lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, while the hairs of my body stand under recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm constant moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachata Desha Darine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhani Videvi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premata Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Darine Rupanuga Viruta Pasidanta Dwanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumistvam Nirdishta Sajanapriyaha Vaishnava Sava Bhauma Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpa Turupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratho Pangor Mamamanda Materkati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Dvindadana Kalpadumata Shimadara Nagara Singhasanasto Shimadradha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Samarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsiva Tata Stitaha Karasham Venu Soner Gopir Gopinatha Shayestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangala Charnam prayers ki jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadya Radya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukapa Viksha Laksharviteshu Surabi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venu Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantaka Lasa Madamale Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Laditam Yata Prakasham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimma Satujala Vigrahasya Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durabam Adurabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Munipangavaanam Sopiasti Yapapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sara Chaitum Jagatanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagatanta Chaya Yatantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Bhushaha Suktaryam Eva Nikama Patitaistuvanti Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ananda Chimma Rasa Patibhavitapi Stapi Evan Jarupa Taya Kalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatama Bhutto Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sateva Hitayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanya Mena Tishtan Nanavatarama Karobu Vaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Paramapumam Yo Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Krishna, who is not Govinda, the Supreme Godhead. He has the eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in a boat built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in the pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shyamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness, in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe, at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm Goloka with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidant Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who is Shyamasundara Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna in the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc., as a subjective portion.
Sri
Brahma Samhita ki jai.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidinoti suhrit satam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta eter anavidam sitam sattve prasidati एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद् भक्ति योगतः भगवत् तत्व विज्ञानं मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्व समस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एव आत्मनीश्वरे.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him.
In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord.
By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by the devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly.
Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection, and enables one to come at once to the stage of asamsayam samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotees in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 35. Vijnana Saktim Mahim Amanananti Sarvatmano Nataha Karanam Giritram Aswatari Ustra Gaja Nakani Sarve Mrugaha Pasavaha Shronideshe. Vijnana Saktim, consciousness, Mahim, the principle of matter, Amananti, they call it so, Sarva Atmanaha, of the omnipresent, Anta Karanam, ego, Giritram, Rudra, Shiva, Asva, horse, Aswathari, mule, Ustra, camel, Gajaha, elephant, Nakani, nails, Sarve, all other, Nugaha, stags, Pasavaha, quadrupeds, Shroni Deshe, on the region of the belt. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The principle of matter, Mahatattva, is the consciousness of the omnipresent Lord, as asserted by the experts, and Rudra Deva is ego. The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his nails, and wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord.
2.1.36 Vayam shitad vyakaranam vichitram manur manisha manujo nivashaha gandharva vidhadharacharanashraha swarasmuti rasu rani kavirtaha kaviryaha. Vayamshi, varieties of birds. Tad vyakaranam, vocables. Vichitram, artistic. Manoh, the father of mankind. Manisha, thoughts. Manujaha, mankind, the sons of Manu. Nivasaha, residence. Gandharva, the human beings named Gandharvas. Vidyadhara, the Vidyadharas. Charana, the Charanas. Apsaraha, the angels. Swara, musical rhythm. Smriti, remembrance. Ashura Anika, the demoniac soldiers. Viryaha, prowess. Translation. Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels are represent his musical rhythm, and the demoniac soldiers are representations of his wonderful prowess. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The atheistic sense of the Lord is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds like the peacock, parrot, and cuckoo. The celestial species of human beings like the Gandharvas and the Vidyadharas can sing wonderfully and can entice even the minds of the heavenly demigods. Their musical rhythm represents the musical sense of the Lord. How then can he be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense, and standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are different signs of his supreme personality. The Manu Samhita is the standard law book for the humanity, and every human being is advised to follow this great book of social knowledge. Human society is the residential quarters for the Lord. This means that the human being is meant for God realization and association with God. This life is a chance for the conditioned soul to regain his eternal God consciousness and thus fulfill the mission of life. Maharaj Prahalada is the right type of representative of the Lord in the family of Asuras. None of the living beings is away from the Lord's gigantic body. Each and every one has a particular duty in relation to the supreme body. Distribution in the matter of discharging the specific duty assigned to each and every living being is the cause of disharmony between one living being and another. Disruption in the matter of discharging the specific duty assigned to each and every living being is the cause of disharmony between one living being and another. But when the relation is re-established in relation with the Supreme Lord, there is complete unity between all living beings, even up to the limit of the wild animals and human society. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants, and many other ferocious animals perfectly cooperated in glorifying the Supreme Lord. That is the way to peace and amity all over the world.
2.1.37 Brahmananam Brahmananam Shatrabhujo Mahatma Vidururang Angkri Shrita Krishna Varna Nana Bidabri Bi Jagano Papano Dravyatmaka Karma Vita Yoga Brahma, the Brahmanas, Ananam, the face, Shatra, the Kshatriyas, Puja, the arms, Mahatma, the Virat Purusha, Vit, the Vaishyas, Uru, the thighs, Angrishita, under the protection of his feet, Krishna Varna, the Sudras, Nana, various, Abhita, by names, Abhichagan, Gana, the demigods, Upapana, being overtaken, Dravya Atmaka, with feasible goods, Karma, activities, Vidana Yoga, performances of sacrifice. Translation: the Virat Purusha face is the Brahmanas, his arms are the Kshatriyas, his thighs are the Vaishyas, and the Sudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him, and it is the duty of everyone to perform sacrifices with feasible goods to appease the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Monotheism is practically suggested here. Offering sacrifices to many demigods under different names is mentioned in the Vedic literatures, but the suggestion made in this verse is that all those varieties of demigods are included in the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are only the parts and parcels of the original whole. Similarly, the divisions of the orders of human society, namely the Brahmanas, the intelligent class, Kshatriyas, the administrators, the Vaishyas, the mercantile community, the Sudras, the laborer class, are all included in the body of the Supreme. As such, sacrifice by every one of them in terms by pleasing the Supreme by feasible goods as recommended. Generally, the sacrifice is offered with clarified butter and grains, but with the progress of time, human society has produced varieties of goods by transforming materials supplied by God's material nature. Human society, therefore, must learn to offer sacrifices not only with clarified butter, but with also other manufactured goods in the propagation of the Lord's glory, and that will bring about perfection in human society. The intelligent class of men or Brahmanas may give direction for such sacrifices in consultation with the previous acharyas. The administrators may give all facilities to perform such sacrifices. The Vaishya class or mercantile community who produce such goods may offer them for sacrifice. The Sudra class may offer their manual labor for the successful termination of such sacrifice. Thus, by the cooperation of all classes of human beings, the sacrifice recommended in this age, namely the sacrifice of congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, may be executed for the common welfare of all the people of the world. Text 38. Iyan asava Ishvara vigrahasya yasa nivesha katito mayate sandaryatesmin vapushi staviste manasvabuddhya Nayadosti Lanchit. Ian, all these are so that Ishvara, Supreme Lord, Vigrahasya, of the form, Yahu, whatsoever, Sanivesha, as they are located, Katita, explained, Maya, Maya, by me, they unto you. Sandaryate, one may concentrate. Asmin in this, Vapushi, form of Virat. Stavishte, in the grass. Mana, mind. Swabuddhya, by one's lifetime.
By one's intelligence.
In lifetime. One's intelligence. Nana, yata, beyond him. Asi, there is kinchit, anything else. Translation. I have thus explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world.
Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has verily explained that the material nature is only an order carrying agent of His. She is one of the different potencies of the Lord, and she acts under His direction only. As the Supreme Transcendental Lord, He simply casts a glance over the material principle, and thus the agitation of matter begins, and the resultant actions are manifested one after another by 6 kinds of gradual differentiations. All material creation is moving in that way, and thus it appears and disappears in due course. Less intelligent persons with a poor fund of knowledge cannot accommodate the thought of this inconceivable potency of the Lord Sri Krishna, by which he appears just like a human being. Bhagavad Gita 9.11. His appearance in the material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, but by his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees, he comes down and manifests himself as the personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with atomic energy and the gigantic situation of the universal form, and they offer respect more seriously to the external phenomenal feature of material manifestations than to the nominal principle of spiritual existence. The transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the jurisdiction of such materialistic activities, and it is very difficult to conceive that the Lord can be simultaneously localized and all pervasive. Because the materialistic philosophers and scientists think of everything in terms of their own experience, because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virat feature of his transcendental form. And herein Srila Sukadeva Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. He concludes that there is nothing beyond the gigantic feature of the Lord. None of the materialistic, thoughtful men can go beyond this conception of the gigantic form. The minds of the materialistic men are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of his gigantic body, and by one's intelligence only one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world: the forest, the hill, the ocean, the man, the animal, the demigod, the bird, the beast, and or anything else. Each and every item of the material manifestation entails a part of the body of the gigantic form, and thus the flickering mind can be fixed in the Lord only and nothing else. This process of concentrating on the different bodily parts of the Lord will gradually diminish the demoniac challenge of godlessness and bring about gradual development of devotional service to the Lord. Everything being a part and parcel of the complete whole, the neophyte student will gradually realize the hymns of Ishopanishad, which state that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and thus he will learn the art of not committing any offense to the body of the Lord. This sense of God-mindedness will diminish one's pride in challenging the existence of God. Thus, one can learn to show respect to everything, for all things are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord.
Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 39. Sasarvadi vritti anubhuta sarva atmayata swapna janekshi taikaha tam satyamananda nidhim bhajeta nanyatra sajayatatmapata. Sa, he, the Supreme Person, Sarvadivritti, the process of realization by all sorts of intelligence, Anubhuta, cognizant, Sarve, everyone, Atma, the super soul, Yada, as much as, Swapnajana, a person dreaming, Ikshita, seen by, Ekaha, one and the same, Tam, unto him, Satyam, the supreme truth, Ananda Nidhim, the ocean of bliss, Bhajeta, must one worship, Na, never, Anyatra, anything else, Sajjat, be attached, Yata, whereby, Atmapata, degradation of oneself. Translation: one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary persons create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the process of devotional service is indicated by the great Goswami Srila Sukadeva. He tries to impress upon us that instead of diverting our attention to several branches of self-realization, we should concentrate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme object of realization, worship and devotion. Self-realization, as it were, offering a fight for eternal life against the material struggle for existence. And therefore, by the illusory grace of the external energy, the yogi or the devotee is faced with many allurements which can entangle a great fighter again in the bondage of material existence. A yogi can attain miraculous successes in material achievements such as anima and lagima, by which one can become more minute than the minutest, or lighter than the lightest, or in the ordinary sense, one may achieve material benedictions in the shape of the wealth and women. But one is warned against such allurements, because entanglement again in such illusory pleasure means degradation of the self and further imprisonment in the material world. By this warning, one should follow one's vigilant intelligence only. The Supreme Lord is one, and his expansions are various. He is therefore the super soul of everything. When man sees anything, he must know that his seeing is secondary, and the Lord's seeing is primary. One cannot see anything without the Lord's having first seen it. That is the instruction of the Vedas and Upanishads. So, whatever we see or do, the super soul of all acts of seeing or doing is the Lord. This theory of simultaneous oneness and difference between the individual soul and super soul is propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a philosophy of Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. The Virat Rupa, or the gigantic feature of the Supreme Lord, includes everything materially manifested, and therefore the Virat or gigantic feature of the Lord is the super soul of all living and non-living entities. But the Virat Rupa is also the manifestation of Narayana or Vishnu. And going further on, and no one will eventually see that, but the Virat Rupa is also the manifestation of Narayana or Vishnu. And going further on, one will eventually see that Lord Krishna is the ultimate super soul of everything that be. The conclusion is that one should unhesitatingly become a worshipper of Lord Krishna, or for that matter his plenary expansion Narayana, and none else. In the Vedic hymns it is clearly said that first of all Narayana cast a glance over matter, and thus there was creation. Before creation, there was neither Brahma nor Shiva, and what to speak of others? Sri Pada Shankaracharya has definitely accepted this, that Narayana is beyond the material creation and that all others are within the material creation. The whole material creation, therefore, is one with and different from Narayana simultaneously, and this supports the Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva philosophy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being an emanation from the glancing potency of Narayana, the whole material creation is not different from him. But because it is effect of his external energy, Bahiranga Maya, and is aloof from the internal potency, Atma Maya, the whole material creation is different from him at the same time. The example given in this verse very nicely is that of dreaming man. The dreaming man creates many things in his dream, and thus he himself becomes the entangled seer of the dream and is also affected by the consequences. This material creation is also exactly a dreamlike creation of the Lord, but he, being transcendental super soul, is neither entangled nor affected by the reactions of such a dreamlike creation. He is always in his transcendental position, but essentially he is everything and nothing is apart from him. As a part of him, one should therefore concentrate on him only, without deviation, otherwise, one is sure to be overcome by the potencies of the material creation, one after another. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita as follows: Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshe punastani kalpadav vishrajamyaham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I again create. The human life, however, is an opportunity to get out of this reputation of creation and annihilation. It is a means whereby one may escape the Lord's external potency and enter into his internal potency. Thus end
the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the second canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The First Step in God Realization. The second step, no. Chapter 2, The Lord in the Heart. I know. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam Dara Nayatma Yonir. What is Buddha? Why does it look like that? Shri Sukha Uvacha Eva Dharanayatma Yoni. Where did I do that? Oh. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam Puradharana Yatma Yonir Nashtam Smritam Patya Varudhya Dustat Tata Sasarjedam Amogha Drishtir Yatapyayat Prag Vyavashaya Buddhi.
Sri Sukha Vacha. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Evam, just in the same way, Pura, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Dharanaya, by such a conception, Atma Yoni of Brahmaji, Nastam, lost, Smritim, remembrance, Pratyavarudhya, by regaining consciousness, Tustat, because of appeasing the Lord, Tada, thereafter, Sasarja, created, Idam, this material world, Amoga Drishti, one who has attained clear vision, Yada as Apyayat created, Prak as formerly, Vyavasaya ascertained, Buddhi intelligence.
Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, formerly prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Lord Brahma, by meditating on the Virat Rupa, regained his lost consciousness by appeasing the Lord. Thus, he was able to rebuild the creation as it was before. Purport. The example cited herein of Sri Brahmaji is one of forgetfulness. Brahmaji is the incarnation of one of the mundane attributes of the Lord. Being the incarnation of the passion mode of material nature, he is empowered by the Lord to generate the beautiful material nature, manifestation. Yet due to his being one of the numerous living entities, he is apt to forget the art of his creative energy. This forgetfulness of the living being, beginning from Brahma down to the lowest insignificant, is a tendency which can be counteracted by meditation of the Virat Rupa of the Lord. This chance is available in the human form of life, and if a human being follows the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam and begins to meditate upon the Virat Rupa, then revival of his pure consciousness and counteraction of the tendency to forget his eternal relationship with the Lord can follow simultaneously. And as soon as this forgetfulness is removed, the Vyavasaya Buddhi, as mentioned here and in the Bhagavad Gita 2.41, follows at once. This knowledge, this a certain knowledge of the living being leads to loving service to the Lord, which the living being requires. The kingdom of God is unlimited. Therefore, the number of the assisting hands of the Lord is also unlimited. The Bhagavad Gita 3.13.14 asserts that the Lord has his hands, legs, eyes, and his mouth in every nook and corner of his creation. This means that the expansions of differentiated parts and partials called jivas or living entities are assisting hands of the Lord, and all of them are meant for rendering a particular pattern of service to the Lord. The conditioned soul, even in the position of a Brahma, forgets this by the influence of the illusory material energy generated out of false egoism. One can counteract such false egoism by invoking God consciousness. Liberation means getting out of the slumber of forgetfulness and becoming situated in the real loving service of the Lord, as exemplified in the case of Brahma. The service of Brahma is the sample of service in liberation, distinguished from the so-called altruistic services full of mistakes and forgetfulness. Liberation is never in action, but service without human mistakes.
No. Text 2, Canto 2, Chapter 2. Shabdasya hi brahmana esha panta yannamabhirdhyayati dhir apardaihi paribrahma statra na vindaterdan mayamaye vasanaya sajanaha. Shabdasya, of the Vedic sound, he certainly, Brahmanaha, of the Vedas, Eshaha, these, Pantaha, the way, yet what is, Namabhihi, by different names, Dhyayati, ponders, Dihi, intelligence, Apardaihi, by meaningless ideas, Paribrahman, wandering, Tatra, there, na, never, Vindate, enjoys, Ardhan, realities, Maya, maye, in illusory things, Vasanaya, by different desires, Shayanaha, as if dreaming in sleep. Translation: the way of presentation of the Vedic sounds is so bewildering that it directs the intelligence of the people to meaningless things like the heavenly kingdoms. The conditioned souls hover in dreams of such heavenly illusory pleasures, but actually they do not relish any tangible happiness in such places. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The conditioned soul is always engaged in laying out plans for happiness within the material world, even up to the end of the universal limit. He is not even satisfied with the available amenities on this planet Earth, where he has exploited the resources of nature to the best of his ability. He wants to go to moon or the planet Venus to exploit resources there. But the Lord has warned us in Bhagavad Gita 8.16 about the worthlessness of all the innumerable planets of this universe, as well as those planets within other systems. There are innumerable universes and also innumerable planets in each of them, but none of them is immune to the chief miseries of material existence, namely the pangs of birth, the pangs of death, the pangs of old age, the pangs of disease. The Lord says that even the topmost planet known as the Brahmaloka or Satyaloka, and what to speak of other planets like the heavenly planets, is not a happy land for residential purposes, due to the presence of material pangs as above mentioned. Conditioned souls are strictly under the laws of fruitive activities, and as such, they sometimes go up to Brahmaloka and again come down to Pataraloka, as if they were unintelligent children on a merry-go-round. The real happiness is in the kingdom of God, where no one has to undergo the pangs of material existence. Therefore, the Vedic ways of fruitive activities for the living entities are misleading. One thinks of a superior way of life in this country or that, or on this planet or another, but nowhere in the material world can he fulfill his real desire of life, namely eternal life, full intelligence and complete bliss. Indirectly, Srila Sukadeva Goswami affirms that Maharaja Parikshit, in the last stage of life, should not desire to transfer himself to the so-called heavenly planets, but should prepare himself for going back home, back to Godhead. None of the material planets, nor the amenities available there for living condition is everlasting. Therefore, one must have a factual reluctance to enjoy such temporary happiness as they afford.
अतः कविर्नमशूय अतः कविर्नामशूयावद् आता स्यादप्रमातो व्यवाशय बुद्धि सिद्धे सिद्धेन्यातार्थे नायतेता tatra tatra yate tatra parishramam tatra samikshamanaha.
For this reason, Kavi, the enlightened person, Damashu, in names only, Yavat, minimum, Ardaha, necessity, Sat, must be, Apramattaha, without being mad after them, Vyavasaya Buddhi, intelligently fixed, Siddhe, for success, Anyata, otherwise, Arde, in the interest of, Na, should never, Yatita, endeavor for, Tatra, there, Parishramam, laboring hard, Tatra, there, Samikshamana, one who sees practically.
Translation. For this reason, the enlightened person should endeavor only for the minimum necessities of life, while in the world of names, he should be intelligently fixed and never endeavor for unwanted things, being competent to perceive practically that all such endeavors are merely hard labor for nothing. Purport. Purport. The Bhagavata Dharma, or the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam, is perfectly distinct from the way of fruitive activities, which are considered by the whole devotees to be merely a waste of time. The whole existence, the whole universe, or for that matter, of all the Bhagavata Dharma, or the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam, is perfectly distinct from the way of fruitive activities, which are considered by the devotees to be merely a waste of time. The whole universe, or for that matter, all material existence. I don't get that. I don't get that line. No, I don't get that. The whole universe.
Or for that matter, all material existence.
I don't get that. Is moving on as Jagat, simply for planning business to make one's position very comfortable or secure. Although everyone sees that this existence is neither comfortable nor secure and can never become comfortable or secure at any stage of development. Those who are captivated by the illusory advancement of material civilization following the way of phantasmagoria are certainly madmen. The whole material creation is a jugglery of names only. In fact, it is nothing but a bewildering creation of matter like earth, water, and fire. The buildings, furniture, cars, bungalows, mills, factories, industries, material science, peace, war, or even the highest perfection of material science, namely atomic energy, and electronics, are all simply bewildering names of material elements with their concomitant reactions of the three modes. Since the devotee of the Lord knows them perfectly well, he is not interested in creating unwanted things for a situation which is not all reality, but simply names of no more significance than the babble of sea waves. The great kings, leaders, and soldiers fight with one and another in order to perpetuate their names in history. They are forgotten. They are forgotten in due course of time, and they make a place for another era in history. But the devotee realizes how much history and historical persons are useless products. Persons are useless products of flickering time. The fruit of worker aspires after a big fortune in the matter of wealth. Women in worldly adoration, but matter of wealth, women in worldly adoration, but those who are fixed in perfect reality are not at all interested in such false things. For them it is a waste of waste of time. Since every second of human life is important, and enlightened man should be very careful to utilize time very cautiously. 1 second of human life wasted in the vain research of planning for happiness in the material world can never be replaced, even if one spends millions of coins of gold. Therefore, the transcendentalist, desiring freedom from the clutches of Maya or the illusory activities of life, is warned herewith not to be captivated by the external features or fruitive actors. Human life is never meant for sense gratification, but for self-realization. Srimad Bhagavatam instructs us solely on this subject from the very beginning to the end. Human life is simply meant for self-realization. The civilization which aims at this utmost perfection never indulges in creating unwanted things. And such a perfect civilization prepares men only to accept the bare necessities of life or to follow the principle of the best use of a bad bargain. Our material bodies and our lives in that connection are bad bargains because the living entity is actually spirit. And spiritual advancement of the living entity is absolutely necessary. Human life is intended for the realization of this important factor, and one should act accordingly in accepting only the bare necessities of life and depending more on God's gift without diversion of human energy for any other purpose. Such as being mad advancement of civilization is called such as being mad for material enjoyment. The materialistic advancement of civilization is called the civilization of the demons, which ultimately ends in wars and scarcity. The transcendentalist is specifically warned herewith to be fixed in mind so that even if there is difficulty in plain living and high thinking, he will not budge even an inch from his stark determination. For a transcendentalist, it is a suicidal policy to be intimately in touch with the sense gratifiers of the world, because such a policy will frustrate the ultimate gain of life. Sukadeva Goswami met Maharaj Parikshit when the latter felt of necessity for such a meeting. It is the duty of a transcendentalist to help persons who desire real salvation and to support the cause of salvation. One might note that Sukadeva Goswami never met Maharaj Parikshit while he was ruling as a great king. For a transcendentalist, the mode of activities is explained in the next sloka.
Text 4, Canto 2, Chapter 2.
Well, you're reading that?
Yeah.
That's so long. No, we only have like 3 minutes. I am not.
Satyam kshitau kim kashipo prayaisai baho shvasiddehi upabarhanai kim sati anjalau kim burudana patrya digwal kaladau satikim tukulai. Satyam, being in possession. Kshitau, earthly floods. Kim, where is the necessity? Kashipo, of beds and cost. Prayasai, endeavoring for. Bahau, the arms. Swasiddhe, being self-sufficient. He certainly. Upabarhanai, bed and bedstead. Kim, what is the use? Sati, being present. Anjalau, the palms of the hands. Translation: When there are ample earthly floods to lie on, what is the necessity of cots and beds? Where one can use his own arms, what is the necessity of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hand, what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is ample covering or the skins of trees, what is the necessity of clothing? Purport: The necessity of life for the protection and comfort of the body must not be unnecessarily increased. Human energy is spoiled in a vain search after such illusory happiness. If one is able to lie down on the floor, then why should one endeavor to get a good bedstead or soft cushion to lie on? If one can rest without any pillow and make use of the soft arms endowed by nature, there is no necessity of searching after a pillow. If we make a study of the general life of the animals, we can see that they have no intelligence for building big houses, furniture, and other household paraphernalia, and yet they maintain a healthy life by lying down on the open land. They do not know how to cook or prepare foodstuff, yet they still live healthy lives more easily than the human being. This doesn't mean that human civilization should revert to animal life or that the human being should live naked in the jungles without any culture, education, and sense of morality. An intelligent human cannot live the life of an animal. Rather, man should try to utilize his intelligence in arts and science poetry and philosophy. In such a way, he can further the progressive march of human civilization. But here, the idea given by Srila Sukadeva Goswami is that the reserve energy of human life, which is far superior to that of animals, should simply be utilized for self realization. Advancement of human civilization must be towards the goals of establishing our lost relationship with the God, which is not possible in any form of life other than the human. One must realize the nullity of the material phenomenon, considering it a passing phantasmagoria, and must endeavor to make a solution to the miseries of life. Self complacence with a polished type of animal civilization geared to sense gratification is delusion, and such a civilization is not worthy of the name. In pursuit of such false activities, a human being is in the clutches of Maya or illusion. Great sages and saints in the days of yore were not living in a palatial buildings furnished with good furniture and so called amenities in life. They used to live in the huts and groves and sit on the flat ground, and yet they have left immense treasures of high knowledge with all perfection. Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatana Goswami were high ranking ministers of state, but they were able to leave behind them immense writings and transcendental knowledge while residing only for one night underneath one tree. They do not live even 2 nights under the same tree. And what to speak of well furnished rooms without modern amenities? And still they were able to give us most important literatures of self realization. So called comforts of life are not actually helpful for progressive civilization. Rather, they are detrimental to such progressive life. In the system of Sanatana Dharma are 4 divisions of social life and 4 orders of progressive realization. There are ample opportunities and sufficient directions for a happy termination of the progressive life, and the sincere followers are advised to hear therein to accept a voluntary life of renunciation in order to achieve the desired goal of life. If one is not accustomed to abiding by the life of renunciation and self-abnegation from the beginning, one should not one should try to get into the habit of at a later stage of life, as recommended by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and that will help one to achieve the desired success. Today we read up to Canto 2, Chapter 2, Text 4. We'll continue reading tomorrow. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna. We'll continue to Guru Puja.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bando Moi Savadhana Mate Jahara Prasade Bhai E Baba Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hate Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Koriya Kya Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasade Chatudana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu She Devya Gyana Rida Prakasito Devya Gyana Rida Prakasito Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasa Jate Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasa Jate Vedagaya Jaha Racha Rito Vedagaya Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama
janara bandhu Lokanata loke raji vana Lokanata loke raji vana Aha Prabhu koro doya Deha more pada chaya Koro doya Deha more pada chaya Ebe jasa gusuk shribu vana Ebe jasa gusuk shribu vana Prabhupada patitapa vana Prabhupada patitapa vana Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Ma Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasari
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet to great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by his words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opened my dark eyes and fills my heart to transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is an ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord of master the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet. You are the savior of the most fallen souls. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.